Yo, 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 yo. What up, though? What's going on? What up, dude? Another week, man. Another week. It's the Dunk on Demand show going in, man. It's a lot going on in sports this week, man. A lot going on in sports this week. It's been a heck of a week for me, man. It's like my weeks have always been busy so far coming up. Like it's been a lot going on. I don't know what it is, but this end of the year just been crazy for me, from like work to life to everything, man. Like, and I'm suited and booted tonight, man. I got my Furman. I got the hometown team on a throwback Furman Division One AA National Champ sweater. We'll see how long I can stay dry in this, because it's a little warm in these lights, but I'm gonna pull up my sleeves. What up, B Diva? What up, though? She checking in. What up, though? What's going on with you? How your week been? What it is? What it do? What it's gonna be? You know what I'm saying? The NBA draft, though. Y'all watching the draft? What y'all doing? What y'all been doing all week? Andy Clark, I didn't think he was gonna come through with the bad news that happened to Drew Brees. What up, though? What's up, ladies? Am I from South Carolina? Yeah, I'm from South Carolina originally. I'm down in Georgia now, but I went to college down here in Georgia, and I live around the Atlanta area now. But yeah, I'm from South Carolina, man. I lived in Greenville for about some 8 years maybe, and then I moved to Easley. You know what I'm saying? And then I went to good old college at LaGrange College down in Georgia. So that's where I'm at now. My boy Nick checking in. What up, though? What's going on with y'all, man? What's going on? What's going on? Man, it's a lot of stuff on the list, man. Y'all been keeping up with all this nonsense that's been going on around the NFL thus far, and sports in general. It's been a lot. A lot. A lot. Said Drew Brees gonna be fine. We not depressed. Listen, somebody said he gonna be out at least 2 weeks. You know, don't back out of that bet we got, Andy Clark, just because Drew Brees hurt. I know we still got a month to the Saints play the Chiefs, but don't back out of that bet just because Drew Brees hurt. And y'all got Jameis, who be giving that ball away. You know, Jameis give away more footballs than Cam Newton. so don't back out of your bet. Renege on the deal. You know what I'm saying? But B Diva says she's from South Carolina too. What part of the state you from? You know, it ain't too many of us, at least that's on the channel, at least from South Carolina. I know maybe some, because there's a lot of Panthers fans, but that's how I became a Panthers fan. I'm from South Carolina. You know what I'm saying? They've been around since 95. And, but yeah, it's been a lot. Y'all make sure y'all get a video thumbs up, please. We got a lot to talk about. So we're going to talk about the Saints and their quarterback situation and just some interesting thoughts about it. We're going to talk about this Giants head coaching and coaching fiasco, per se. We're going to talk about COVID, obviously. We gotta talk about COVID. It happens every time. We're going to talk about this Pro Bowl, too, man. We already talked about it a couple weeks ago when I told y'all, but I gotta talk about it again. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the Chiefs and Deandre Baker and them signing him. And a couple other things, man, that's pretty funny. So, man, we got a lot to get into, man. So, how y'all want to start it off? Let's start with I guess the doom and gloom. We got to get the news out the way. So let's talk about this COVID, man, because the NFL recently announced today that they're putting all the teams in the league, all the teams now, under intensive protocol. So that means that all staff and people got to wear masks and stuff on the field. Only can do grab and go lunches. Meetings have to be virtual. The whole 9 yards. And then usually they only put that policy on teams that had a COVID outbreak. You know what I'm saying? That had some people test positive. So instead, with all the cases rising across the country, it just made sense for them to do it now. So I get it. And I definitely get that. But the Raiders whole squad, the whole defensive squad, is pretty much on COVID list. They announced that seven players on they announced today are on the COVID list. Now they could be clear for the game, but if you're going against the Kansas City Chiefs on Sunday after they had a bye week, after whipping up on the Panthers, the last thing you want is your defense to be injured or out disabled or off the list. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the last thing you want to happen. And this is like the worst case scenario for the Raiders because, like, they beat the Chiefs the first time, so the Chiefs going to be out there looking for revenge, like Drake say. You know what I'm saying? But if you ain't got your best defensive players, you taking a knife to a gunfight. And you know Kansas City got the big guns. You know they got the big guns. You know what I'm saying? So I feel bad for them, but I mean this is what COVID is. I mean, John Gruden sounds like he ain't making no excuses, and he kind of understands that this is a part of how life is going to be in 2020 and possibly 2021 when it comes to this COVID stuff. So man, it's been really crazy about the stuff that's been happening, and it's like I said, with the numbers going up. Is the NFL has really done a decent job, and I guess they come up their research and data from this has shown that with these they haven't really had any outbreaks since the Tennessee Titans a couple weeks ago when they had to reschedule some games, and they kind of narrowed it down and say that it's not really people catching COVID when they at the facility, they catching it when they're doing their own thing, and like I said at the beginning of the year, if you ain't got a bubble, stuff like that's gonna happen. So it just comes with the territory. So without having a bubble, you're gonna have a lot of these pop-up cases and stuff every now and then because dudes are still hanging with their homies. They still going out clubbing on the low. We saw the dude from the Panthers a couple weeks ago. He was a practice squad player. He was in the club dancing and stuff. He ended up getting fired or cut, whatever you want to call it. So it's what happens when people do this stuff. And speaking of dancing, like Andy Clark talking about, NFL finding the Saints for their post-game celebration, led by nobody other than Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston had all that energy because he didn't play it down. Well, he played 2 snaps against the Bucs. I'll say that. He handed the ball off, I guess, and threw. He did a little something, but he was dancing like he did something, eating W's all over the place, and they was just whatever. And I guess they weren't following. I don't know what protocol it is because they have to be around each other anyway. So I guess nobody had masks on. Nobody was social distancing. But I feel like you being around your own teammates, yeah, you want to be safe, but is that really fine worthy? I guess it is fine worthy because they already came at them before. So when you're a second-time offender, that's what happens. But Abdul just talking about LaMelo Ball, the NBA draft on LaMelo Ball going to Charlotte. And of course, they talking about LeVar Ball played for the Panthers once upon a time. So I guess there's a little Charlotte connection there, but it's gonna be crazy to see LeVar heading to Charlotte to deal with Michael Jordan and his son LaMelo. But LaMelo apparently dropped a clothing line that was like $150 for hoodies and $80 for t-shirts. You know what I'm saying? You would have thought it was Kanye. You would have thought it was Kanye West selling some Yeezys or something like that. He was selling the plain white t-shirts with Melo on it for $80, $70, $80. It's crazy. No, I don't know where he got these prices from, but I'm not buying a shirt. And I think he claimed he's gonna drop the prices after there's a ton of backlash. So we'll see what happens there. But listen, you ain't Yeezy. You ain't Yeezy, bro. Now it was different when Alonzo was selling the $200 shoes that used to tear up on him during the court. But at least you put in the work to whatever. It don't take nothing to get a t-shirt and heat press it. Now, I'm all about supporting people, brands and stuff, so I love the idea of the Big Baller brand when they had the Zoes and the Zoe 2 shoes or whatever. It's not easy to make it. Anybody can make a t-shirt. Not everybody can make a shoe. So I don't want to hate on that, and I gotta give credit for that. But you ain't putting much work into these t-shirts with a little name on it in manuscript or whatever. Roman, I don't know what you call it, Times New Roman, Old English. Fine. Nah. I'm not paying $70, $80. Like I said, you ain't Yeezy. Come on. Come on, man. Let's be for real. But let me not get too far off track, man. But this COVID, man, it's been crazy, dog. B. Diva said, no thank you. Look, Ain't no white t-shirt worth that. Sorry. Sorry. So NFL like hating on the Saints. That's what y'all think. Nobody really care about the Saints like that, man. Nobody really care about the Saints like that. Y'all think the world is out to get you because it make you feel better about that curse that y'all got sitting over that franchise. Because that's what some of the Saints fans are saying now. They're buying into this curse talk. Are the Saints cursed? They've had some stuff happen to them that just seems very, very unfortunate. But are they cursed? Is it just bad voodoo? Bad mojo? You know what I'm saying? Is stuff just not meant to be? I don't know. But I believe in karma, and I believe in I believe in the atmosphere. I'm bringing stuff back. Trill one of this thing. What up, though? What's going on with your brother? Abdul G said, I support small time businesses, but not these big time prices. I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. She said, I see another hater in this. Yep, add me to the list. Add me to the list of haters. Add me to the list of haters. So let's talk about the Saints. Matter of fact, since we on them, but before we do that, you guys make sure you give the video a thumbs up if you have not. If you have not, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. But let's talk about it, because Drew Brees, they said that, he punctured the lung and the multiple rib fractures and all this and that. I mean, this man got internal organ damage. Now, Drew Brees don't get hit that often. Not really clean. And that was a BS flag. That was a BS flag. But you're not allowed to get a clean shot on Tom or Drew Brees or Tom Brady or those type of quarterbacks without paying the price. You could clearly see the dude landed beside Drew Brees. That was textbook. Textbook. But of course they were whatever. But Drew paid for it. He came out the game. He was on the sideline looking like he was about to cry. Some Saints fans were happy. Some people think Drew was holding the team back and Drew needs to sit down. Some people just think Jameis, they want to see Jameis because Jameis is going to take chances and throw the ball down the field. Some people are laughing at Drew because of his comments during the offseason and him talking about the national anthem or him posing in pictures with the president. Some people are mad that Drew is hurt. You know what I'm saying? It just seems like things ain't been the same. I don't know what it is, but things ain't been the same for that team. Obviously, Michael Thomas being out, but Michael Thomas is back. He's been fairly quiet. It's weird, man. It's really weird. But it's quarterback situation. They're talking about, who's going to be the starter? Sean Payton hasn't named the starter. Is it going to be Taysom Hill? Is it going to be Jameis Winston? Dude, come on. Let's be for real. We know it's going to be Jameis. We know it's going to be Jameis. I don't care what Sean Payton called Taysom Hill the next Steve Young. No, we're not buying that. I don't know if you were trying to increase his trade value or what. Nobody's buying Taysom Hill as a guy that had threw 8 passes last season. A glorified Wildcat quarterback. What are we talking about here? We know what Taysom Hill is. Let's stop playing games. We know what he is. We've seen him in preseason action not be very good. Why do you think they made a move to trade for Teddy? Why do you think they picked up Jameis? If they had that much confidence in Taysom Hill to be the full-time quarterback, he would be the full-time quarterback. Like, there's plenty of other running quarterbacks that they throw in there that they have the mobility and the legs to be able to buy time and create to let them open up the pass for them. Nobody believes Taysom Hill can be a quarterback outside of being a gimmick quarterback. I'm sorry. Because they said they've called Lamar Jackson just a running back. But obviously his passing has progressed. His legs are his biggest weapon, but he could always rely on his legs to cover up the shortcomings for his arm. Why can't that be the case for Taysom Hill with Sean Payton? Sean Payton, one of the most creative offensive minds in the league. But you can't create something that makes Taysom Hill successful? I think that's an indictment on Taysom Hill. And Jameis. A lot of people are saying, they think Jameis could be better. better than he was before because, one, he had different trash coaches. He didn't have Sean Payton, a creative mind like that. I beg to differ because I think Jameis is going to be Jameis. It's going to be Jameis. Let's start believing who these people are when they tell us. Okay, y'all, it's 2020. You can't give some. Some people deserve the benefit of the doubt, but some people don't. When you throw 30 interceptions, you don't deserve the benefit of the doubt. When you've been turning the ball over like Jameis has since college, you don't deserve the benefit of the doubt that he can just magically turn things around. Yeah, he threw a couple more checkdowns last game to Kamara and stuff like that looked like safer passes. But you also see that the 49ers defense dropped the interception or two. There were some opportunities to get there. Jameis still going to be Jameis. And the way it gets Jameis in trouble is he always wants to make a play. He'll never throw the ball away. He's always scrambling around, throwing, running around, trying to throw something, trying to create something, trying to force something. He wants to make every play be the best play. Well, sometimes you just got to take the check down or take the L, throw the ball away, eat the ball, take a sack. People think he's just going to change up from who he was. No. Jameis signed with the Saints on a cheap deal to prove himself. He wanted to get with a good coach, get around some weapons, possibly get a chance to either prove himself for the next team or to the Saints to be the long-term answer there for them after Drew is gone. You don't think he's going to be out there pressing, trying to make the best of his situation, make the best of his opportunity? He saw what Teddy Bridgewater did last year. Teddy Bridgewater played 5 games and parlayed that into being the man in Carolina. You don't think Jameis sees that and is going to try to press and try to make every play to be able to get him a chance to be another deal and be the man like Teddy Bridgewater? Jameis is going to be Jameis. Let's be for real. Jameis is going to be Jameis just because of that. Trill once said, what are the Saints crying about now? Hey, everything under the sun. Everything under the sun. Said, no, he put all his weight on Breeze. Breeze defense is like no other, and they better keep that same energy. hey, you see Lil Wayne facing 10. And they said Trump not going to get him out of jail. You hate to see it. I said, Wayne facing 10. What's going to happen to Wayne? Yo, like, if Wayne actually, I don't think he's going to do that time. You know, because you know how celebrities just be magically getting whatever. I don't know what kind of pull they have with the justice system. He's not doing 10. Let's be real. I don't think he'll do any time. But let's say he did. Let's say he does. I don't know what the deal is because, like, if he doesn't get pardoned by the president or whatever to get him out of it, that would be the ultimate sellout weak move. I mean, it already is because he can't even vote. But, like, you do all that for nothing? I mean, I heard he got paid according to 50 Cent. But for him to do all that and to still maybe end up in jail? Come on, man. Come on. So you can't put all your weight on someone when you turn to the side. So Arians ain't Sean Payton. Said Tupac did time. True. I mean, T.I. did a year and a day. Tupac did a year and a day. But I don't know. It's a different day and time, you know. Wayne is rap is looked at in a different light than it was back then. You know, Tupac was looked at as somebody, one, he was actually respected. Unlike Wayne. Tupac was actually respected. So his words actually meant something to people. His mother was part of the Panther Party, and of course, and he had some influence too. He was a very well thought person. A lot of people saw Pac as a threat, especially with the age that rap was in. Now, rap has crossed over a lot, and Lil Wayne has been a big part of that crossover of the rap game and hip hop. So they don't see Wayne as the same as they see Tupac. So Wayne, he could get it, but I don't think he could get it. He's not gonna get. He could probably get off, but they wanted to go at Tupac. That's my thought process. They really wanted to send a message. You know what I'm saying? But a celeb these days, you can make that stuff go away. You can get lighter sentences and stuff like that. You know how the pool is now. But you guys make sure you get a video a thumbs up if you have not. Abdul said the Saints are going to the Super Bowl if they play their cards right. I hate to say it, but it is what it is. I mean, I really don't know who's going to do what. So they obviously have a chance. I don't know what's going to happen this year at all when it comes to these playoffs. But, yeah, anything can happen. Anything is possible, like Kevin Garnett said. Y'all hear about the Giants, the NFL, the NBA, the New York Football Giants? Excuse me. Y'all hear about them? Y'all hear about this coaching situation for the Giants? Like Joe Colombo, you know they new coach. Mark Colombo, excuse me, their new head coach Joe Judge. He came from the Patriots, so now he's the head coach of the New York Giants. He has an offensive line coach named Mark Colombo, who's a former NFL player. I'm sure he's a decent sized guy to be an offensive line coach and a former offensive lineman in the NFL. I've never met a small offensive line coach in my years of playing football, but that's neither here nor there. Apparently, Joe Judge either A, wasn't too confident in what Colombo was doing, even though he was dealing with a lot of young guys on the offensive line, or he just wanted to get some of his guys in there, which is highly possible because he's a first-year head coach. So he told Colombo that he wanted to hire somebody else to come help coach the offensive line. He didn't really tell him he was taking his job, but the writing is on the wall when they hire somebody who is an offensive line coach, even though they didn't give him the title on the team. So if you see somebody hire your replacement, you would be mad too. Apparently, words were shared, a verbal altercation, and a rumor came out today. That they got into a fist fight. A fist fight. They was throwing hands, throwing blows, throwing bows, everything, tussling, whatever word you want to use. They was going at it. That's what the word on the street was. Now, it seems a little extreme for somebody to get into a fight, and apparently the head coach, Joe Judge, lost that fight, which I'm assuming he was a smaller man, and they ended up firing the guy after getting his butt kicked. Now, how petty is that? You know what I'm saying? But I get it. You the man. You got the pull. If I get my butt whooped, I'm firing you too. That's the type of petty that I am. But of course, like they said, it wasn't true. It was just a heated verbal exchange. Okay. But that's not any fun. So let's act like it was a fight. What would have happened had the head coach won? Would Mark Colombo still have a job? Like, how do you expect him to come to work every day knowing that his boss whooped him? Like, that doesn't sound like a very hostile working environment where I have to show up to work and take order from my boss that physically whooped me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've had some bad bosses, but never have they ever put their hands on me. Never have we ever gotten into a fist fight. You know, never. And the Hawks pick is in. They pick a center from the University of Southern California. But like, what kind of relationship do you have? Like, let's say the players are reading this stuff and they hear about it and they witnessed it. Because we may never know the truth. We have to just believe, I guess, what was said. But how do the players respect the head coach if he got his butt whooped by the offensive lineman, line coach? Like, how can you respect the head coach that's been beaten by somebody on his staff? Like, look at me. I'm the captain now. The offensive line coach just said, look at me. I'm the captain now. That's what happens. You got to turn in your whistle. You get beat up by somebody on your staff, you got to turn in your whistle. Sorry. You got to turn in your whistle. Abdul said, that's wild. I was like, yeah. He said it sounds like slavery all over again. You get beat by your boss and have to come back to work. Slick. You hate to say it and you hate to see it. But that's messy, man. It would have been funny had it been true. But you know how the internet can get stuff and it takes off. Obviously, the truth is not as exciting as a lie. So I have to take the word for it that nothing happened because more people said nothing happened except the verbal altercation compared to the people that confirmed that it was a fight. So did y'all did y'all hear about the Pro Bowl? We talked about it a couple weeks ago. Did y'all hear about the Pro Bowl? Y'all heard about the virtual experience they're doing with the Pro Bowl? Now, my thoughts on this virtual Pro Bowl is that it's weak, man. It's weak. I was very critical of them before. They said, "Oh, we want to reimagine the Pro Bowl this year." They should have been reimagined the Pro Bowl. Should have took COVID for them to reimagine the Pro Bowl. But now I got to get. Let me fall back. This virtual Pro Bowl is not a good idea in my opinion. No, the NFL, they get all high and mighty. They get drunk with power. Obviously, they think they can do what they want to. The draft, the NFL draft that happened virtually, that was actually a good event. It was entertaining. It was funny. They gave cameras to all the players to have at home. We got to see the reactions from the mamas, the baby mamas, the girlfriends, all the crazy aunties and uncles, the family. We got to see the kids at home being comfortable, not all uptight wearing a suit with the ankle showing. You know, like it was cool get to see that experience. It was really, what do you call that? It was really it was a really in-depth look at what goes on. So that was cool. But since they had so much success, they just thought, okay, guys, we got to follow this up with something great and brilliant. Let's do a virtual Pro Bowl. How about let's play Madden? Madden? That's all y'all came up with. I get it. You didn't have too many options. But you're going to have Madden. Madden is going to be the Pro Bowl. You're going to have the people that were elected to chosen to the Pro Bowl and pro gamers playing and streaming that. Like, if we wanted to watch Twitch, we could just do that. We don't need the NFL and the Pro Bowl to do that. We don't need that. There's guys making a killing streaming on Twitch. We don't need that. We don't care. And half these players are playing on Twitch anyway. So it just seems like a bad idea to me, man. It seems like a bad idea. Like, it's weak. It was weak. They had a good thing going with the draft. They couldn't capitalize on it. But now they're playing Madden. I'm not going to watch. I'm sorry, I can't. Some people do it. That's why these Twitch people are popular. But I can't. I can't. Like, the only thing that could have gotten worse from the glorified flag football game that they were playing before when the Pro Bowl was going on because guys were scared to hit and tackle and take each other down was to play Madden. Like, just make the selection a selection and do that. Now, COVID, just let it ride. I would have just let this year ride. Let the Pro Bowl go. Let it go. Let it go. But nah, they wanted to hold on and try to make the best out of it and make some money. I guess they milking that partnership they got with EA Sports till it's dry. They milking it till it's dry. I'm not a fan. The dude said the Giants are balling now. They might win the division on accident with a losing record. True that. So I don't like the virtual thing. Me neither. Now when it comes to my job, I would love to stay virtual. But they don't agree with me. So frankly, I could care less about Pro Bowls. Only watch regular season and postseason. Agreed. Actually, I do watch preseason. But I'd rather watch preseason and watch some backups than watch a virtual Pro Bowl. No disrespect to Madden. And some people are bigger gamers than me. But I just can't see how this being a viable alternative for the Pro Bowl. Sorry. They tried to make the best of a bad situation. That sometimes you just got to take that L and go home. Take the L and go home, NFL. B. Diva said, I believe Robbie Anderson is going to the Pro Bowl. He better. But it's going to be some tough competition. Because you know DK doing his thing. Hopkins doing his thing. He's in the NFC now. Robbie is up there, of course. Obviously, Michael Thomas having a down year, so he probably won't make it. Julio is always around there ever so often. Is there room for Robbie on the roster? How many make it? 3, 4? Not that it matters this year, but it's just a good accolade to have. But Robbie, possibly. DJ Moore should have made it last year, probably. We'll see what happens. We will see what happens. But I don't think Robbie's going to be tripping over going to play Madden with some folks. You know. It's crazy out here, man. So, did y'all see this? Y'all heard about Justin Herbert? Y'all see this news about Justin Herbert and him shaving his head? Nick said Ridley probably going to be in that talk too. Yep, really been snapping this year, especially with Julio missing some time earlier. Really been having a heck of a year, for real. And Clark said she don't even watch the Pro Bowl. I don't either. The reason why she don't watch the Pro Bowl is because she usually still salty about the Saints losing the week before. B. Diva said, I don't watch it either. Yep. You know, I got to mess with Annie Clark. She the designated Saints fan, so I got to throw jokes. At her. You know what I'm saying? But y'all hear about Justin Herbert, man? This dude, he cut his hair. Just out of nowhere, he cut his hair. Now, there was big controversy talking about should girls, should women consult with their boyfriends before they make dramatic changes to their hair. I don't know if Justin Herbert is single or not, but he should have consulted with somebody. Because look at this. This is terrible. This is terrible. Look at this buzz cut, man. I don't even call it a buzz. It's like I don't even know. It just his haircut is horrible. The haircut is horrible. You know, he's had long hair since he's been in the spotlight, so any change he made, like, was gonna be dramatic. Like, when you have long hair, you can't just go dramatic. You gotta make subtle changes and ease it on us. You can't just be throwing stuff like this in our face. We may have you can't just throw stuff like this in our face. Like, he shaved his facial hair too. Look at that. He shaved his facial hair. I've never seen somebody cut their age in half. They got a haircut and literally cut his age in half. Cut his age in half. Like, no. Like, he literally cut his hair and his facial hair. And his acne just decided to take up all the room on the real estate that was left open. Like, the acne just decided to move in all willy-nilly faster than a gentrified neighborhood in the hood. Like, they just took over. They took over. Got rid of the hair and everything started changing. This is wild to me, man. Like, why? I didn't listen to the interview, but I don't know why. Nick said he was in the movie Full Metal Jacket. Exactly. B. Diva said, most definitely don't shave no mustache off without asking your girlfriend or wife first. He said, Abdul said, Justin is a baller, though. I slept on dude. And then Clark said, she agreeing with B. Diva. He said, why he look like a teenager, acne and all. Exactly, bro. Exactly. Did the acne come with the haircut or what? Like, what happened? Like, was it sold separately or what? Did he get upcharged by his barber for the acne or what? Or he just had a bad reaction to some clippers? You know what I'm saying? I've had razor bumps in my day, but good Lord. But nah, Justin Herbert, I'm only laughing like this because I like dude. I told y'all last week when I was talking about these rookie quarterbacks, I like him. I think he's in the best situation to succeed because of the weapons around him. Yeah, he's going to get his block knocked off because the offensive line is suspect. But I like him going forward, man. He's got the size. He got the arm. He can move around a little bit. He just need a better haircut so he can look like a franchise quarterback of an NFL team and not a middle school team. You know what I'm saying? He look like puberty hit him hard. He beat puberty, and puberty came back for its revenge 8 years later. Like you can't be making no type of moves. You gotta ease into it. You know what I'm saying? Thin out the mustache a little bit. Thin out the beard first. Then get rid of it. Maybe do the hair a little bit shorter. Fade it up. Don't just buzz it and square it up. Like, come on, man. It's too dramatic. It's too dramatic. Too dramatic, man. But nah, it's crazy. But so y'all heard about Deandre Baker, the Bakers man, Patty Cake Bakers man. Patty Cake Bakers man. Y'all heard about him? So let me give y'all the backstory. Y'all heard about him signing with the Chiefs. So I'm sure y'all heard about that. He signed with the Chiefs, and some of y'all may not know who he is because he hasn't even been in the league that long. He was drafted out of Georgia, probably last year. Pretty high pick, one of the top corners in that draft class. Has a lot of talent. But, of course, what happens to Georgia players? They get in trouble. If you're familiar with the UGA program, you know how the offseason goes. These dudes get in trouble. A lot of them get kicked out and end up going to other SEC schools, or they'll go to an HBCU. Deandre Baker didn't get in trouble at Georgia that I can remember. So I guess he put that portion off into the pros. So apparently him and a player for the Seattle Seahawks, Quentin Dunbar, lost some money gambling, about $70,000. That's a lot of money. I mean, even for an NFL player, it's probably a drop in the bucket, but 70 racks is 70 racks. I'd be mad too if I lost it. Now, I would not have the same reaction that these guys had because these guys took it upon themselves to rob at gunpoint a house party in Florida, in South Florida. They robbed the house party at gunpoint where the guys that they lost the money to were at. Gunpoint. It was crazy. Like, this was one of the craziest things I heard. They robbed it at gunpoint. But anyway, come to find out, obviously, it's a party. People have phones. People have eyewitnesses accounts. They call the police and say, I've been robbed by an NFL player. They named it by name. That lets me know that they knew who it was. This wasn't just some random hit. Obviously, it's revenge. You're in the NFL. You don't need to rob people. Because whenever you hear that, NFL guys robbing or shoplifting, it already makes you weird. Because it's like the one guy from, I guess his name was Dunbar. He played for the Cowboys. He like shoplifted some underwear from a department store. I don't know why he did that. He just had issues. But this dude's obviously first round pick. You got some money. You got some money. He did it for revenge. So of course they press charges. They press charges, and the case was still pending. This happened probably last summer. So it's been a while, but the charge was still pending. Come to find out, 3 witnesses that were part of the people that got robbed, their lawyer tried to extort him. So they hit up Deandre Baker's lawyer saying, hey, if the price is right, my clients, they'll make this whole thing go away. They asked for about over $500,000 amongst the 3 or 4 of them, including the lawyer. Come to find out, the judge dismissed the case because once they reported that this lawyer was playing dirty, like a politician, he threw the whole case out because obviously it sounded like these people were up to no good. And then they caught these guys on tape paying witnesses off. 3 witnesses recanted their statement and said, nah, that didn't happen like that. I took back what I said. They recanted their whole statement. In the court of law, like, they're using taxpayers' money. If stuff like this happens, this is petty BS, they kind of just throw these cases out because they're wasting time. They don't want to deal with this. Obviously, they just wanted the money. They knew who the guys were that robbed them. They wanted to get them back. And the lawyer, being a slimy lawyer, like Better Call Saul Jr., slimy lawyer, tried to get money, tried to extort him. And so now the lawyer got arrested and is facing charges. So this stuff gets wild. It's wild, man. It's wild. And now Deandre Baker, since he's cleared of all the charges, the case was dismissed. They caught him on tape running a 40-yard dash to his pickup getaway car. Come to find out, he signed with the Kansas City Chiefs. He signed with the Chiefs. The Chiefs aren't playing around. They've been looking for DBs. We know their defense can be a little suspect. They have their moments where they're okay, but we know their secondary is suspect. We know they're suspect. So they're trying to get better. DeAndre Baker is young and talented. I don't blame them. But at the same time, where is the line for these guys? They've had their history of suspect people. Now, let's not forget that Tyreek Hill had some issues in college. I'm not gonna get into the details of that. Obviously, I don't want to throw it because it's behind him. But he had some issues in college. Obviously, the child abuse stuff came up last offseason. Chiefs looked by it, whatever. Said whatever. This dude runs a 4.1, 4.2, 40-yard dash. Have you seen Tyreek Hill? He's fast as lightning. We picking this guy up. We're not stupid. They picked him up. Kareem Hunt. We all know what happened there. We saw it on tape. You probably saw it. I saw it. They claim they didn't see the tape, even though they knew the incident. They took his word for it, apparently. I still don't think the Chiefs were innocent there. Looked over it until the tape came out, and the public cry and the court of public opinion crucified them. They let him go. Browns picked him up later. He's balling now. Sure did help out when Nick Chubb was out. But the Chiefs, they knew what was going on. Like, these NFL teams do their homework and research like crazy. You can't tell me that the Chiefs didn't know what was going on with Kareem Hunt. Looked over that because he's a 1,000-yard Pro Bowl back as a young guy. And now DeAndre Baker is on their team. I think we all know that DeAndre Baker is guilty of something. The court might not say that, but he's clearly guilty of something. He's clearly guilty of something. It just happened that the way the justice system is, it worked out in his favor. He dodged the bullet. Now he's getting a second chance. In true UGA Georgia player fashion. Like I said, a lot of these guys get in trouble at Georgia in the offseason. Get kicked out of school, get a second chance, end up balling at Auburn or Jacksonville State or Jackson State or Albany State. Somewhere. He's getting a second chance, man. So he better count his lucky stars. He better make the most of it. Said Better Call Saul is the one that helped him. Exactly. I got to watch that new season of Better Call Saul. It's not on Netflix yet. I got to figure out how to get it. I'm not finna pay for AMC. I don't know if it's on demand, but I got to watch that new season. It's actually a pretty good show. B. Diva said, hey, double yikes. And Dude said he heard about it, man. He said, Nick said, that's old D. She said, yikes and double yikes. But, yeah, man. He said, that's the same way the Bucks knew about AB situation before they signed him. Exactly. These NFL teams be trying to play innocent and whatever, but they know what time it is. They know what time it is, man. They know what time it is. Like, they got this money and resources to find out what they want to find out. They know what time it is, man. You guys make sure you get a video a thumbs up if you have not. If you have not, give the video a thumbs up. If you are new here, please subscribe. This is the Dunk on Demand show, brought to you by Necessary Blunt and Sports Talk. I also do videos talking about the Carolina Panthers in depth. I do recaps after the game live also. But Wednesday is the day we all come to play. And I say what I say. I ain't mean to rhyme. I just do it sometimes. I'm on fire. I'm just playing. Let's get. What else we got? What else we got? So, y'all hear about the Jags? The Jaguar fans on Reddit? I don't know how to pronounce this guy's name, so bear with me. He's a former defensive end for the Jags, former defensive end for the Vikings, current defensive end for the Baltimore Ravens. His name is Yannick Ngakoue. Did I say that right? Yannick Ngakoue. Now, my Nigerian and African friends going to kill me for mispronouncing this, but Yannick Ngakoue. Nick said bars. Bars. Real rap raw. Remember what Kevin Hart said? Bars. But nah. Yannick Ngakoue, like I said, used to play for the Jags, was traded to the Vikings, and then traded to the Ravens. So he's been on the move a little bit. So apparently, when the Vikings when the Vikings traded him to when the Jaguars traded him to the Vikings, they traded him for a conditional 5th-round pick, and then the Vikings traded him to the Ravens. And so the Jaguars are still on the hook, obviously, because they're hoping that this works out. Because the way a conditional pick is, if it works out in the other team's favor, if he makes a Pro Bowl or has X amount of sacks or do this, that, and the third, if he meets certain benchmarks, that 5th-round pick for the Jaguars turns into a 4th-round pick. And so Yannick, he has about 5 sacks in 9 games, of course. The Ravens are 6-3. 5 sacks is It's okay. Not enough to sing home about. But if he makes a Pro Bowl, that 5th-round pick turns into a 4th-round pick. So on Reddit is one of the underrated social media apps out there. If you don't have Reddit, at least please download it just to read. That's what I do. I comment every now and then, but the comedy is real. It's like a big message board and forum for everything. So there's some Jaguars fans that are banding together to vote Yannick to the Pro Bowl. He may not even deserve it, but in their eyes, he deserves it because they want that 4th-round pick from the Vikings. And let me tell you about division rivalries. Now, I do hate the Saints myself. I'm sure the Saints hate the Falcons. They're playing each other this week. The Falcons hate the Saints. But when you want to talk about petty, these Jaguars fans have recruited the division rivals for the Vikings, the Bears, the Lions, and the Packers. They've recruited all those 3 teams' fans to vote for Yannick so the Vikings lose their 4th-round pick. They've all band together to vote for them so the Vikings will lose their 4th-round pick. And you want to know who else has band with them to help screw the Vikings over? The New Orleans Saints. Now, the New Orleans Saints are not in the division as the Vikings, but we know that they're past. From the Minneapolis Miracle, to Kirk Cousins beating them last year in the playoffs, the Saints are petty and they pissed. So they're going to help the Vikings lose a higher pick too. So all this pettiness put together is going to turn into a Pro Bowl for Yannick Ngakoue, whatever, maybe. Pro Bowl voting is open. You're not going to see me wearing a mask saying vote for your favorite Pro Bowler like people were doing during the presidential election. But that is petty. That is a level of petty I've never seen before. Like, why are the Saints involved? And they wonder why bad things happen to them when it talks about this bad voodoo and this mojo and stuff. Because they go out their way to be petty. Like, that was, y'all don't need to team up with them. But that is hilarious. That is hilarious, man. The power of social media and the internet and the level of pettiness band together will possibly get this man to a Pro Bowl for nothing. I mean, 5 sacks isn't terrible, but it's not Pro Bowl worthy. It's not. But these guys are smart enough to know that if he makes the Pro Bowl, they'll get a better pick. It works out for the Jaguars, they get a better pick, and it works out for their rivals because they get screwed over out of a 4th-round pick when the guy probably shouldn't even have made the Pro Bowl when he may. Luckily, fan voting is only a part of it, but if they can get some overwhelming numbers, it will be very interesting to see how this plays out. So, guys, make sure y'all pay attention to Yannick Ngakoue. Yannick Ngakoue. I probably butchered his name, but I'm going to keep saying it. I feel like I'm getting it right. The more I say it, the better I get at it, even though I'm probably getting worse. Yannick Ngakoue. Dre drip too hard in this thing. It's what up, though. He said, sup, G? It's what up, though. You know what I'm saying? What's going on with you, man? What's going on with you? Miss Sandy in this thing. What up, though? What's going on with you, Miss Sandy? And Clark said her son love Reddit. Reddit is dope. And she said the Saints love petty. Exactly. Hey, petty, man. Listen, people really have time for pettiness. Listen, people take NFL very, very serious. Very serious. Andy Clark said, I guess AB changed his life around in 2 weeks. Listen. AB, man. Like, the criminal stuff that he might have done, like with females and sexual assault, that's serious. Now, you don't want to make light of that. I'm not going to I'm not gonna convict him because I don't know what he did. I don't know what happened. I don't know. It's a civil lawsuit. He didn't face any criminal charges. It's a civil suit. But if he did that stuff that's criminal, he deserved to be punished. He deserved to be punished. He's not a good human being if he really did that stuff. But like all this other mumbo jumbo, him farting in people's face or wrecking, throwing furniture off a ledge into a pool, or this stuff about him on camera being mad at his HOA or something. I don't really care about that. That could happen to any human being. Have you ever farted in public? He farted at the doctor's office. It was on tape and it was hilarious because it was him and it was all at one time. But it's crazy. B Diva said, ask Google how to pronounce. Hey Siri, how do you pronounce Yannick Ngakoue?
Okay, I found this on the web for how do you pronounce Yannick Ngakoue. Check it out.
That's a YouTube video. Or not. Hey Siri, how do you say Yannick Ngakoue?
Okay, I found this on the web for how do you say...
Hey Siri, how do you say Yannick Ngakoue?
Okay, I found this on the web for how do you say Yannick Ngakoue. Check it out.
Ngakoue? I don't know if that's correct. Is that correct? Does that sound right to you guys? Does that sound correct? Doesn't sound right to me. How do you pronounce it? I'm going to his Wikipedia page. Okay. According to Wikipedia, it's Yannick Ngakoue. Yannick Ngakoue. Yannick Ngakoue. I got it. She said, I need an iPhone. I need a Galaxy. I don't need no Galaxy. I've been team. I had the last Android I had was the S3, and I ain't been back since. I'm team iPhone forever. Forever. Team iPhone forever. My boy Nick, he was in here. He just traded over to Team iPhone. He was fighting that good fight, trying to stay on Android, but he converted over. It's only a matter of time before everybody comes over to the dark side, man. Only a matter of time. Only a matter of time. And the Clark says 2020. Everybody got lots of time for petty. This is true. We're supposed to be locked down and on this pandemic and stuff. So people got time this year. People got time. Nick said, I missed my Galaxy. How you missed the Galaxy? You'd have had the iPhone for 2 days. You had that iPhone for 2 days. How you miss it? See, actually, I'm pretty close. Oh, dang. My boy, my Cuzzo, Evan checking in. He on his own account. He not on his wifey account tonight. What up, though, Cuzzo? Abdul said Android crew for life. For life. Evan said we need to be talking about the NBA draft. We were talking about a little bit earlier. We were talking about LaMelo going to Charlotte and his dad being a former Panther, being familiar with the area. We talked about it a little bit. See me, I don't know a ton about a lot of these college players. Now, I do love me some Hawks. The Hawks are my squad. I can't ride with the Hornets. Sorry. I didn't really get an official NBA team until 2015. So I was living down here. I decided to choose the Hawks. I love the Panthers to the death. I hate the Falcons, but I ride with the Hawks, man. I know it seems confusing, but don't ask. It is what it is. Nick said 0 out of 10 would not recommend. The S20. All y'all team Android? Dang, that means y'all can't even get all y'all team Android that's in here right now. That means y'all probably seeing me in about 720. Y'all not even seeing me. I got this nice camera. I done spent all this money getting this camera and this nice setup. I was recording on my cell phone last year when I was live streaming. I got this nice camera, this nice setup, just for y'all to watch me on Android, for me to come in low definition anyway. Wow. Wow, y'all. Wow. I thought we was cool. I thought we were cool. Yeah, I done spent all this money on a nice camera for y'all to watch me in low definition. Nick said he had the Note 10. He just missed a split screen. Now that split screen do hit. Now, and I will say the Galaxy, that fold, I think it was too far ahead of its time. They need to perfect that. But that fold is so dope. That fold is so dope. It's dope. And the Clark said she 1080p. Nigga said stop playing. Y'all know that cameras be fuzzy. Cameras be fuzzy on Instagram. Screen be fuzzy. Diva said she 1080p too. Y'all take the picture be clear. As soon as y'all post it to the internet, it's fuzzy. It's fuzzy. You know how Android do, man. I'm familiar with the struggle. I've been there. I've done the Android struggle. I've seen the light. And there's a bright flash on the back of an iPhone. I just upgraded myself. I got the iPhone 2. Well, 12, not the 2. 2 as in TOO. Abdul said the picture quality is on point. The picture quality is good until you post it online. And it Clark said I'm lying. If I'm lying, I'm flying. Y'all saying y'all pulling my card. I must not ever use the Galaxy. I told y'all the last Galaxy I had was an S3. And I ain't looked back since. He said I seen the light with the S8. Look, y'all don't woke up now. Started talking about y'all cell phone. Must be talking about the same thing. Look, y'all Galaxy people be so defensive. Look at Nick. Nick like the I can't do the phablets. They too big. The phablets too big for me, man. I did the Plus, the iPhone Plus for 1 year. Too much. It was too much. If I can't hold my phone with one hand, I don't want it. Big Diva said I had the S3. Yeah, the S3, they all the same. Couple new features here, new camera there, new hardware. All these phones the same. They don't really be upgrading anything. Now that fold, the fold is fire. Big Diva said the fold is back. Matter of fact, said it's back. That fold is fire. I just would not want to have a case on it because I feel like it's hindering the true appeal of it. I watched a show called Westworld. They had them little books like that and tablets. They be turning in, controlling them androids and robots with it. Ever since they folded them flat screens, I was like, I gotta get me one. And then when I saw Android come out with it, the Galaxy, I was like, what? A phone that fold, but it was buggy, obviously. They gotta perfect it some more probably still, even though they released it back, but we'll see. But I like the fold. I can't lie. Ever since he got the 11 Pro, the world is made for iPhones. It's an iPhone world, man. Android phones ain't the move. Yes. When I was what does the Bible say? When I was a child, I thought as a child. When I became an adult, I bought an iPhone. Ain't the Bible? What the Bible say? Something like that? Close? Maybe close? Whatever. Y'all get the picture. iPhone is where it's at. It's where it's at, man. Nick said he agree. Said picture videos only look good on the phone. They don't look good when you post on like the story or send a video and messages. Exactly. They be scrambled like eggs. Pixels be scrambled like eggs. Low def, 720, fuzzy. I already got astigmatism in both eyes. I don't need my pictures looking low quality. I need help. Making it clear. Make it crystal clear. Abdul said, I'd rather buy a PS5 than spend a dime on iPhone. Look, the sad part is the PS5 is on back order. The iPhone, you can go get you one today. Now, they kind of back order too. I ain't going to lie. It's probably about a week lead time on those, unless you go in the store and get you one. But the PS5 is going crazy. They're going to be playing on the PS5 for the Pro Bowl. The NFL bought up all them PS5. That's what happened. That's what happened when you have a virtual Pro Bowl. NFL bought up all the PS5s. They bought them all. They're getting ready for the Pro Bowl. I figured it out. Guys. The reason why nobody can get a PS5 is because of this dang virtual Pro Bowl that the NFL is trying to do. It's a bad idea anyway, but now they done drove the price up because the resale on these PS5s are ridiculous. All because the NFL want to have a virtual Pro Bowl. They couldn't just cancel it because of COVID and come back next year stronger. Nah, they wanted to buy up all the PS5s. Evan said Android users are the people who got denied iPhone services. It's an elite group. Listen, everybody know Team iPhone is where it's at. It's the iPhone is about a symbol. And I'm mad that I bought into this mumbo jumbo. But what Evan is saying is true. And that's what Apple wanted to push on us. They be selling the same product. Sometimes it's a MacBook. Sometimes it's an iPad. Sometimes it's the phone. It used to be an iPod till they started putting music on this. It's a status symbol, bro. Everybody knows that the features most of the time and all the iPhone has not come up with a new idea since an iPhone. Like Apple hasn't come up with a new idea since the iPhone. Everything else is just jacked from Samsung and they tried to make it better. They haven't had a new idea in years. They're not creative anymore. Until they drop like a self-driving car, they're not going to have any new ideas. And that's not even a new idea, a self-driving car, but they'll be the first phone company to do it. But Apple and iPhone haven't had an original idea since they came out with this square iPhone. Everything else has been Swagger Jack and Samsung. They'll go out there, let Samsung make the mistakes, and they'll come back and perfect it. Because they got the bread to do that. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? Ain't that something? Nick said it's a cult. Slick said it's a cult for sure. Agree. Why y'all call Nick? You just joined the cult. You joined the Kool-Aid. Don't even play. You can't be name calling. B. Diva said I thought about it for a second, but they didn't have a pink phone and the phone was too heavy, so I said nah. Plus they always come out with a new one every 5 minutes. Just once a year. That's why you get the iPhone Forever program. You just upgrade every year. You make your payments on it. You upgrade every year whenever you want. B. Diva said her son was fortunate enough to get a PS5. He drove 3 cities away to pick his up. Good Lord. 3 cities? You must have paid for it out of pocket. He paid for it with his own money. You paid for that, B. Diva. Not B. Diva, excuse me, Miss Annie Clark. You paid for that PS5 or he paid for it? Huh? Said, plus you don't have AirPods, Mac, or Watch. I don't have an AirPods or Watch. I do have an old Mac that I bought refurbished. I did not buy this brand new. I would not pay $1,100 for a Mac, for a computer. Sorry. But I did buy this used and I refurbished it. Yeah, I got my words crossed. Sorry. My bad. I apologize. Please accept my apology. So he paid for his own. He worked. Listen, there's a lot of grown people out here that work that can't afford their own PS5. The thing's $500. They $500. They're not cheap. I got an Xbox One in the closet collecting dust. Who on it? How much can I get for it? $50? $50? If I go to GameStop, I probably get a quarter and 2 bags of flaming hot Cheetos. They don't be giving nobody no credit at GameStop for nothing. Nothing. I don't really be having time to play games because not anymore. Any really downtime I have like that, I try to work on the YouTube channel, man. I don't really have time. I mean, a lot of people play games for the YouTube channel, so that maybe that's something I can do, but I don't really have time. So he don't pay no real bills. He in college. I miss them days when you ain't have to work. You just work because you just to do whatever to have fun. Now I work because I have to. You hate doing it every day because you got to pay these bills. Bosso said, "What up, though? My work phone is iPhone." Oh yeah. What up, though? My bad. See, my work phone is iPhone. Personal is Android. I like both, but my older family only know how to use iPhone, so I tend to drift to the Android to feel young. Ain't that some backwards stuff? It seems backwards. I feel like old people would use the Android, but I don't know. B Diva said, "Have a good night. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. Wear your mask. Wash your hands. Protect your neck. And upgrade to an iPhone. Good night." But nah, I feel like old people. First of all, you flexed on us talking about you got two phones. All right, that was the first flex. You flexed on us, but I'm gonna let that slide, Bosa. I'm gonna let that slide. You flexed on us talking about your two phones. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You got a trap phone, and you got a personal phone. Okay, I'm gonna let you slide for flexing on. You flexed on us a little bit, but I always would think that the Android would be different. I thought the Android would be the old people stuff. I don't know. See, Glenn said, "Do I think CMC gonna be all right?" He'll be all right. They don't need to force him back though. You see my video about CMC? What I talked about? What I talked about him being hurt? How they may be wasting his career? Make sure you go check out my latest video that I did about him being injured and stuff. I made some good points. I don't want to spoil it, but they got to protect him from himself. And they got to be smart about using him when he does come back. Can't be giving this man the ball 40, 50 times a game when he just came off of being injured. Crazy. I think he'll be all right because fortunately it's an upper body injury. Now, he's hurt the other shoulder before, but I think he'll be okay with some rest. But if you're going to put all this money into this man, you got to be careful. Ease him back into things. Clearly, we've shown we can move the ball without him. So why force him the ball when he comes back? You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. And then Teddy Bridgewater. Hopefully he'll be healthy, but we'll see. He's probably going to have to play with a brace, I'm sure. Tearing the MCL, injuring the MCL is no joke. I've done that before myself. It's hard. It's hard to cut. You can run straight after a while through some pain, but it's tough. It's tough. But we'll see what Teddy can do, man, with the injured knee. We'll see what Teddy can do. You know, Teddy, he's trying to prove himself, man. So he's going to fight through them injuries. He's trying to prove himself. He got something to prove. He's trying to prove he the man. He got his opportunity. He parlayed that little opportunity from the Saints into a contract. Like I said earlier in the video, Jameis trying to do the same thing. Jameis going to try to do the same thing. He's going to try to ball out and get him a contract like Teddy did. But Teddy trying to prove that he the man. There's been a lot of questions. Everybody call him check down Teddy. He got something to prove to me. I mean, him helicoptering and flying for yards last week proved something. But I want to see him play in the clutch. Raphael E said, "What up, legend? Man, where you been, dog? What's going on? What up, though? Forgot how we do things around here. What's going on, man? What's up with you? What's up with you? I'm not a lot of orange juice. But yeah, man. Well, NBA draft going on, man. Y'all watching? I'm about to wrap.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet. Take a look at the help section in your Alexa app.
My Alexa be listening all the time, bro. I don't even say. Oh dang. I don't even be triggering her. Anything triggered. Anything triggers her. Commercials trigger her. So I'm a Bucks fan, bro. We got embarrassed last week. Yeah, y'all embarrassed us. Y'all embarrassed us too, the Panthers. Y'all embarrassed us. The second half, we just laid down. We just laid down the second half. That 98-yard run was embarrassing. Bad tackling. Embarrassing. Abdul said, already scouting college quarterbacks. Tell they ain't it. Love his character. Yeah, he a good dude. And I think that's why people are scared to say bad things about him. But he not it either. The people are lying to themselves if they think he it. We'll see where we end up in the draft because I would love Justin Fields. But we ain't going to be high enough to go because he probably going to be number 2 or number 3. I'm sure. Said, do you follow the Gridiron Heights videos? I do. I don't follow them as heavy as I used to. Said Carolina was on the latest one. I need to go watch it then. I used to watch the Game of Zones. Game of Zones is hilarious. The basketball version of the Bleacher Report thing, it was hilarious. I also, because I recently got into Game of Thrones, so it makes it even funnier. But Game of Zones is hilarious. Gridiron Heights is pretty funny. It just be so quick. Game of Zones be like full-fledged episodes too. I'm gonna check it out. What's my opinion on Rule and Joe Brady? They still got work to do. Now, I'm skeptical because I'm not really into crowning college coaches like that in the NFL. But like, let's be for real. They haven't really. That we've been almost beating a bunch of teams. We've been close. We were close with fairly close with the Bucks the first time. I mean, it beat us by 14, but we were hanging around till Fournette put the dagger. Almost beat the Saints. Almost beat the Raiders. Almost beat the Falcons the second time and swept them. A lot of almost games. But like, I know it's the first year, we're young and stuff, but I wanted to see progress. And I haven't really seen the progress that I wanted to. Like, I'm trying to think of what players have really developed and gotten better under these guys. Has DJ Moore gotten better? Not really. DJ Moore was a 1,100-yard receiver last year under Ron Rivera. Curtis Samuel? I don't think Curtis Samuel got better. Curtis Samuel always had that potential, and he showed it. He used to score touchdowns at a high clip. He just never got the ball enough. He wasn't knowing how to be used. Mike Davis was just waiting on an opportunity. He had been effective other places. Christian, he hadn't had enough. Robbie, what do you say, he's gotten better or he just didn't have opportunities? I don't know. Defensively, Jeremy Chin, people were pointing at Jeremy Chin. But to me, Jeremy Chin has been good since day one, and he hasn't really progressed. He's just been as good as he is now since day one. Any kind of experience for Jeremy Chin was going to make him be better. So being on the field was just out of habit was just going to make him better. It wasn't just guaranteed and predicated on the coaching staff. You know. Brian Burns, has he gotten better? He just didn't play enough last year. For some reason, he just didn't play enough. I know Ron Rivera used to love giving the rookie treatment to certain players, and they got to earn their stripes for the vets and stuff. But Brian Burns deserved more playing time. And, of course, he got injured, and the hand kind of affected him. But I wouldn't say he progressed. I think Brian Burns was going to be who he was regardless. Just let him get after the quarterback. That's what a guy like him does. Yeah, they're trying to put him at linebacker in coverage, but he isn't really great at that. I mean, everybody thought he could do that regardless. Derek Brown. I mean, his progress is not really going to show up on tape like that. He's made some plays, but Derek Brown was suspected to be a sure thing anyway in the draft. So where is this progress we're talking about? I haven't seen the progress that I would like to see. The corners aren't getting any better. So can we really say these guys have progressed? I mean, if I'm wrong, but still. I'm not ready to crown these coaches yet, like everybody else wants to. And Clark said almost don't count. Only in horseshoes and hand grenades. That's what my Spanish teacher used to tell me. Raphael said, you think the Bucks can win it all? If they don't play the Saints in the playoffs, the Saints really got their number when they're healthy. Now, with Jameis being in, it may be a different story, of course. But the Bucs are going to beat most teams in the NFC. But I just don't see them beating the Saints if they are fully healthy in the playoffs. Again, I feel like the Saints will beat them again for a third time. But with the Saints seeming like their season may be in jeopardy at this point, depending on how Jameis does. I mean, the Bucs got a shot for real. But the pressure is on them. It's Super Bowl or bust. All the BS they've been going through signing Antonio Brown and going for Leonard Fournette, bringing Rob Gronkowski out of retirement. They got to go for broke. Bosa said our D-line's killing us on penalties too. Yes. All the time. Jumping off sides. Late hits. Hands to the face. What else? Roughing the passer. Nobody wants to get after the quarterback but Brian Burns, but everybody wants to get a flag or a penalty. Come on, man. Come on. So defensively, we can't stop a nosebleed. We're young and all, but need to see a little resistance. Exactly. Like, we're not even showing any kind of progress, any kind of willingness to stop anybody, and it's annoying. We've only forced like, what, 2 punts in the last 3 games? Wow. He said we're going to F the Saints up if we play them again, I promise. I just haven't seen anything that showed me that could be true, bro. He said, honestly, depends on division rivals, but I think we have a good squad. We compete, but that defense ain't it. Offense has some flashes. We have the weapons. We just need a better offensive line, and we need a pass rush. We need a pass rush. Bad, because we can't stop anybody. It's wild, man. But I'm going to sign off, man. I got these contacts in, my eyes burning. The draft is on. I got to watch that too. So I'm going to get up off this thing, man. We've been churning. We've been churning. How's Derek Brown been? Derek Brown, he's been solid. I mean, he's a defensive tackle, so his flashes and stuff aren't going to really show up all the time. But he has flash. But his numbers, obviously, it's not a statistic-like position. So that's what happens. But you guys make sure you get a video a thumbs up if you have not, man. It's Aaron Duncan with the Dunk On Demand show. I'm suited and booted with my purple Furman shirt on. So y'all be easy. Take it easy. Protect your neck. Wear your mask. Wash your hands. Sanitize. Say your prayers. Always crossing the green. Never in between. All that good stuff, man. Y'all take it easy. I'm finna sign out. Signing off. Peace.